I think that majority of cops are good. Every bad video of a cop out there, there's another 99 or more of cops doing amazing things.
They do a lot more than just pull people over on the road. They help keep the community safe.
I think a lot of people see a lot of stuff in the media, bad stuff about law enforcement.
You just got to get to know the officers in your area, like understand that they're human as well.
And sometimes we don't, people don't know what to believe, and I think people see that stuff and they just create their own general opinions based off that.
I think most people would realize that, as police officers, we're not out to get people, we're really out to just help people.
I do think there could be improvement, like with social workers or maybe diversifying police force.
But I think there's bad cops, but there's bad people everywhere, and some of them just happen to be cops.
My name's Brian Ellis. I work for BYU, Idaho. And I worked for 30 years as a police officer. When you first have that job, you feel like you'd do it for free. It's like, I can't believe they pay me to do this. Every day you're excited going to work, and that fades a little bit and it becomes work and it starts to wear you out. And you gotta remember why you first took the job.
At 8 years old, we had a SWAT team show up at her apartment and point a gun at my head. I grew up with very negative views on law enforcement. I grew up with an alcoholic stepfather, and he many times got us put in some situations that we shouldn't have been in.
Maybe it's lack of training, or emotions take over and they don't keep their emotions in check. But honestly, for the most part, they're all just trying to do their job. It doesn't always seem like helping people when you're taking a family member of theirs to jail. They don't feel like they're being helped, but there's far more to that.
At 6 years old, we had an officer do a welfare check.
When a police officer does something wrong, everybody knows about it.
We ended up on the side of the road with him trying to strangle my mom. It kind of gave me that, I hate the cops, I hate law enforcement.
When they do something right, it doesn't always make the news. And they're doing things right every day. Numerous times we'd collect money between officers who are out in the field, and even go to the station and collect money to put families up in hotels. That's common practice.
Growing up, I had my lovely stepfather who put us through a lot, but we also had a lot of encounters with law enforcement because of it. And you would run into the ones that they weren't so bad.
My name's Jared Wilmore. I'm a captain here at Madison County Sheriff's Office. Yeah, the last few years of law enforcement, there's been a shift nationwide, and it's hard to be painted with a broad brush of the actions of a few.
I remember when we were arresting a family member in that was a little rougher neighborhood. The family came out and started trying to pull the person away from the officer.
When we're out and about, you may not get as much support when you are directly arresting someone, because that's a hard situation and no one wants to go to jail.
And so we came in and had to take control and ultimately take him to jail. But they weren't real fond of us for a little while.
If change needs to happen in certain places or even here locally, then it's always good to do the right thing, and law enforcement should be known for doing the right thing.
Do better. If you're doing a wellness check, you need to lay eyes on the people that you're there to check. If you are called out for a dangerous situation, you need to secure the entire area, not just a part of it. When I had SWAT point a gun at me, they had secured the front of our apartment building. I was walking around from the back where I was playing, and then they jumped out.
There's definitely two sides to every story. You have to remember that in whatever call you're responding to. I've arrested kids I went to high school with, friends I went to high school with. You try to be compassionate but professional, and I think it's really how you approach people and in those sensitive situations.
There's a real ebb and flow to, it's a roller coaster. And there's times when people really be upset at us, but like when I lost my first partner, and it was like we got loads of people coming in, bringing food and just support. Incredible.
I think law enforcement has tried really hard to change people's views on being the bad guys.
I think the community should get to know the police officers, and it's not just on the community. The police officers need to get to know the community.
We do have a job to do, but we want to do it the right way, and we treat people like people, and we come with that respect, and we hope to get that respect in return, because law enforcement is our people as well.
The police are just trying to do their job. That's really what it is. They're trying to do their job, make it home safe.
Make sure you remember everybody in the situation wants to go home to their families.
We're there to serve and protect, and we want to make sure people are safe and that this community stays safe, and you feel good about when you go to bed at night that everything's going to be all right when you wake up in the morning.
Now that I'm a mom, I sit there and think, I want to know that there's somebody out there that if I can't protect my daughter, somebody can.